So, John Wall today, he liked the tweet on Twitter. Spit just came flying. John Wall liked the tweet on Twitter today. And actually, first off, if you weren't paying attention all season or even a little bit in the off season, John Wall he loves to throw hints and that type of stuff on Twitter. It's just goofy. But honestly, if you're looking for good news for Houston Rockets, this is kind of some good news. You can take it good or bad. So John Wall liked the tweet from a verified account today. It was rate this John Wall trade to the Clippers. That was it. And it was just a John Wall trade hypothetical, and he liked the tweet. Now, I don't think it's clear John Wall's future on the Houston Rockets. I think it's super up in the air. If you had to ask me, is John Wall playing for the Houston Rockets next year? I would tell you yes, like 75% yes. But with these tweets, if he comes out just straight up requests a trade, they kind of have to abide by that. So I guess they don't. Do they have to abide by that? The thing about this John Wall trade is it's just so like John Wall's contract was 4 years, $171 million. It wasn't like, I mean, I don't even want to debate like the logistics of his contract and if it made sense at the time or not. But I mean, looking at it now, you're owed $90 million for the next 2 years. He's got 44 this next year, 44 something this next year. And then he's got a player option for 47.8, I believe, or 47.2. So, I mean, he's going to be making a lot of money here. And the thing is, there's only a handful of teams that would want John Wall, right? They need to be competitive, and they need to either have open salary, which, I mean, not really many teams do unless you're the New York Knicks, or you have to match the salary. You have to match his $90 freaking million. And for most teams, that's quite difficult. And even if it's not quite difficult, the players you're returning, the players you're receiving are never the ones I'm talking Kemba Walker, Kevin Love, they're not horrible players, but for the Houston Rockets, it just doesn't really make sense. So if John Wall gets traded, in my opinion, it has to be 100% a three-way trade. Maybe not 100%, but like 75-25 once again. It's going to have to most likely be a three-team trade in order to make the money work. And you're going to have to most likely either find a contending team who's going to want valuable pieces to get rid of some of their bad contracts, or you're going to have to find a younger team that's looking for the draft assets or the young potential in order to make this trade kind of work. So in either way, no matter if it was a two-way, a three-way, or a four-way trade, if we could be so lucky, it's probably the Rockets aren't going to be getting too much value back. The good news is John Wall, he's still a capable point guard. We're not here to argue his capabilities, but he's coming off another injury after coming off, it's just been a tough, when you miss 2 seasons and you're coming out an injury like that, the league's going to be against you. And so John Wall next season, I bet he has a good solid year. It's just, when you think about the money, it just doesn't make sense on this Houston Rockets club. With that being said, my mind is, I don't want to say the Rockets would make the playoffs with John Wall, but that would be the pro of John Wall staying on the roster, is that he's an absolute dog. He's an absolute competitor, and I think he makes the Houston Rockets a better team. So we could get into minutes and rotations and what's going to happen if they draft Jalen Green, if John Wall's still on the team. We'll get into all that if it happens. But for now, it's just fun to talk about possible John Wall trades, because anytime you have a new player coming to your team, it should be fun. Even when people weren't too happy about Victor Oladipo coming to the Rockets, I still think it was fun at first. It was fun while it lasted, I should say that. But with John Wall, 20-7 on the season, a contending team, I would think exactly like the Clippers should see this and be like, oh my God, we need a playmaking point guard to get the ease off of Kawhi Leonard and Paul George late in games. Oh, hey, maybe this would be a good idea. So the Clippers, that would be very interesting. We'll see what news kind of comes out of this, if anything comes out of this. But I wanted to just let you guys know, because I saw it on Twitter. So hit the like button, hit the sub button for your boys. Shout out to all my fans, man. I love you guys so much. You guys keep me going. And peace.